let me show you how to build an RSVP form on Google Forms. So follow me to my desktop right now. Welcome to Jotform. My name is George, and I'm going to show you how to build the RSVP form, which stands for a Latin phrase that says "Respondis il vos plate," which translates directly to "respond if you please." The idea of the RSVP form is to send that out to the people you want to invite to make sure if they are going to come or not. That way you can count with them or not. So I'm going to build one here on Google Forms, and it's going to be super easy. So go ahead and jump into Google Forms. If you are not located in Google Forms, just go ahead and click on this top Google Apps menu. Scroll down here and you'll find a purple icon that says Forms. That way it'll take you to this section where you can build your RSVP form. So we are going to get started with a blank form, and we are going to get started with first the title. So we want to name our RSVP form. So I'm just going to say RSVP for party. Okay, we're not going to be too specific, just giving you an idea of how you can use this. So that's a quick title for this. And then we have the first questions. Now, the first one, I want to change it to a short answer. And this is going to be the first name. Here we go. And in this case, I'm going to make it required. You don't have to, but you do want to make sure that you grab the name when they fill out the form. If not, they can skip the name. So we want to make that required. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this question because I also want to ask for the last name. Here we go. And then we're going to get started with the first question. So I'm going to add a brand new question, but you have the option to make an add section. That way, if you don't want to overwhelm them with all the questions in the beginning, you can add a section and it becomes a step form. So now in this section, I will be adding my first question. So I'm going to make this the multiple choice, which we are good with this one. And I'm going to ask them if they are going to attend or not. So let me go ahead and add that question right here. Are you going to attend this awesome party? So we're going to add the first option here, which is, oh yeah. And the next one, no, sorry, can't make it. All right. So just giving the two options is yes or no. All right. Then we're going to continue with the next option. Again, I want to make this one required too. So we're going to add the next question. Here we go. And I'm going to make this a drop menu. So I'm going to ask how many people will attend. Okay, here we go. So option one is going to be one person, and then 2, 3, and we're good to go. Okay, here we go. Next, we're going to add a next question, and we're going to make this a checkbox. So I'm going to ask type of food you like. Okay, and option one will be seafood. Next one is going to be vegetarian, beef, and chicken. Here we go. We are good to go. I'm going to add a little conditional logic here. So in case they are not going to attend, I don't want them to respond to these next questions. But if they are going to attend, then I'm going to give them these options. Okay. So here we go. On this section where they can respond yes or no, I'm going to click on this option and I'm going to say go to section based on answer. So if it's sorry, I can't make it, I want to submit the form. So they don't have to continue to the rest of the form if they are not going to attend. And it's just an option that you can add here, which makes it practical and it avoids them responding questions you don't need in case they are not going to attend. Okay, so we're good to go. We are now going to change the style of this form and we're going to click on this option to customize the theme. So there's a few available options here for the style. For example, I can change the header text. So I can make it impact in this case, the question text for the actual text, the header image. So in case I want to add a image that has to do with the party, I can do so here. In this case, I'm gonna add these candy image that I found here. Here we go. And the color, I'm going to do blue for this one. And I can choose the background color too, to a palette that's based on the main color. So we're good to go with the theme, just some basic editing features here for the customization. And we are good to go to publish. Here we go. So let's go ahead and publish this. And we can now send this off by copying this link. We can go ahead and shorten the URL in case we want to make it shorter. So now we have a link that we can go ahead and share this right now with the people you are going to invite, which is pretty practical if you ask me. Now, let me go ahead and fill this out once to show you how the responses are going to look, because we are going to be able to view them right here. So let me fill it out once. So I'm going to add my first name and last name. I'm going to jump into the next section. Remember, this is a step form. So let's go ahead and continue. And yes, I am going to attend. So, oh yeah. And if not, this will take me directly to submitting. So how many people will attend? In this case, 2. And I like all the options. I'm going to send this off. And now we've sent it. Okay. So here we go. We now have the first response right here. and we have 100% for the attending and the rest of the information, which is useful for your RSVP invitation. Then we have the individual questions, how they were responded. I can view all the responses right here, or I can view as individual. So if I have several responses, I can view one by one right here by jumping into each one of the ones that were filled out. I also have the option to link to sheet. So that means I can create a sheet based on the responses from this form, and I'll be able to neatly view them right here, each one of the responses, so I can have a clear view of all of them in Google Sheets. In case I want to do some formulas, some other situations with Google Sheets, that is possible right here, which is really useful to connect it to your Google Sheet. Now, if you want more flexibility to create your RSVP forms, you will have the option to create it here on Jotform. Now, if you go to create, go to form, and we're going to go into use a template. We're going to search for RSVP form, and you're going to be able to find a category right here on the left. So you can go ahead and search for it here, or you can select the category. Currently, there's 126 templates as of this video, but they are adding more and more as time passes. Now, I can go ahead and preview any of the forms right here, which look really nice. I can go ahead and test it out by filling it out right here. And if I like it, I can go ahead and use the template and start customizing it to my own needs. So now that we are on Jotform, there's a ton of available elements that we can use for our form, which is highly customizable here on Jotform. So if I go to add elements, we'll be able to find several elements available that we can start using right here by just dragging and dropping it in our form. Now, if I need to customize this template, I just go ahead and select any of these sections, and I'll be able to customize with ease any of these options here. I can go ahead and remove them. I can go to properties and just customize everything I need. Now, if I want to change the look and style of this form, that is possible too by clicking on the form designer. So if I don't like the current look of the template, I can just go ahead and select, for example, a color scheme. From here, I can select the style. There's available themes that are created already. This one is really colorful and playful. I can go ahead and use this one, which changes totally the look of the form. So several available options for your theme. And if you want to convert this into a step form, just go to layout and change it into a card form, which is really useful. Now, once you're good to go here on Jotform, there's several available settings for conditional logic, for the emails that you want to send out. You can also do reminders, and there's just several things that you can do here on Jotform. Now, once you're done, go to publish, and we have an available link that you can go ahead and share with your invitees. Now, if you want to create a QR code, that is possible here by just clicking on this QR code, and we'll be able to share it via QR code in case we want to print this and send it out in an invitation. You also have the option for embedding on a website, which is really useful too. And there's several available options for your party RSVP form here. So you can either decide to use Google Forms, which is also pretty useful, and you also have the option to use Jotform. So please let me know here in the comments what you think about Google Forms and their RSVP creation form options and what you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that is a wrap.